Hey there, my friend. Welcome back to Sevenfold. My name is Tim Halverson, and thank you so much for tuning in today. This is the place to unlock your creativity through the power of design technology and architecture. So, if you're curious to learn tools, workflows, and the mental model that you need to be highly successful and highly sought after in this field, definitely keep coming back, subscribe, follow, and engage in the comments because there's a whole community that is forming here for people just like you. So, today we're talking about the mental model and the instruments of service. Now, what do I mean by the instruments of service? That's that fancy thing that goes in the contract that says, here is how you're doing what you're doing. And if you want to look it up, for example, there's the new contracts that are coming out from the AIA every single year that help to really demystify the contractual legally binding language to help deliver projects, because in the past we might have just had analog tools like pen and paper and be able to deliver those drawings. But now the drawings has taken on a whole new meaning with the availability of digital tools, which again, this type of resource wouldn't be available if there wasn't a high amount of complexity, high amount of things to learn from. And so again, I want to demystify a little bit of this today. So if you hear the instrument of service and the standard of care, right? Standard of care is that legally binding term that is sort of the reasonable expectation that a client coming to an architect anywhere in the United States and hopefully in the world can expect to receive when they're signing up for certain services. Now, everyone's going to have their own contractual language and they're going to negotiate and get the best deal and the best bid. All those types of factors play into this. But just as a broad term, that level of care continues to evolve based off of how fast we can perform with the modern tools, as well as the data and information that can be used through our buildings. Now, what does that mean? What is this potential? So if you hear the term BIM, right, building information modeling, that's a broad term that you could have multiple different authoring tools, such as Revit or Rhino or ArchiCAD, SketchUp even, which basically allows you to embed metadata into your three-dimensional geometric elements. And Revit is the primary authoring tool that I've found to be most effective so far, and it's the one I've used throughout my career so far. And but there's evolutions happening there as well. So when we refer to the instrument of service, we'll simplify that for our own language here at Sevenfold. We'll just call that the tools, and then how the tools come together and how they work in concert with one another. We'll talk about that as the workflow, right? The workflow is going to be the tools, the people, and the timing, that mixture of how everything comes together to actually realize the study, do the work, and whatever the outcome might be at that time. So I'm going to demystify some of this in a little bit more. As you're going to see through the lessons, I've started to build up a graphic language to help cultivate that mental model so you can sort of imagine the end from the beginning, right? The outcomes, the study, the analysis, whatever you're aiming at, and then connecting in the right tools, because it's one thing to just say, yeah, use Revit. It's another thing to sort of say, here's the sequence of buttons that help you get from A to B as efficiently as possible with the most robust, flexible solutions that can be editable, maintainable, and can evolve with the life of the project, so that if you ever need to make edits, or the client changes their mind, or the design leadership changes their mind, you can quickly make those adjustments and implement it into the model so that it's ready to go. So I just wanted to kind of start the conversation. This really is the type of thing that we're going to be bringing at Sevenfold. It's not just the picks and clicks of the software. It's not just the how-tos, but it's also how you need to be framing your mind, the types of terminology that you need to be kind of getting into your language. And I really want to be unpacking more and more of the language of architecture so that it's not as high of a barrier to entry. So that if you're coming in, you're a student, you're within 7 years of your career, you can get up to speed quickly so that you can communicate on the team, bring your ideas, bring your contributions, and really start to take the visions that are in your mind and bring them into reality. I think the world is in desperate need of amazing designers who are innovative, creative, bringing new solutions that can help our cities thrive for generations to come. And so my passion is more about you, the people and the designers and the community. And I really want to empower you to do your best work so that you can go out there and make the most of your time contributing to the world. So again, my passion is leaving my mark on you, the individual designer, to go out there and make innovative solutions happen in your part of the world. So without further ado, if you are interested in that big grand vision, but also just learning some of the basics, I'd love to hear what you're most curious about learning next. Feel free to drop a comment down below, as well as subscribe or follow, depending on which platform you're seeing this in, and come back. We're on YouTube. Check out sevenfold.io for the resources that are available, and the Sevenfold Academy is academy.sevenfold.io. That's going to have all the course offerings that you can get. So check it out. Come on back. Stay tuned. We'd love to hear exactly what you're hoping to learn next. And again, my name is Timothy Halverson. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Stay curious, my friend.